Sorry about that. Morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is Justice's Waiting Room, a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. As we tend to do every day, we start out with war. Today is a good day to bring Kilmar Garcia home. Today's a good day. I think that it's like a nice way of saying it without drawing too much attention. It's one of the things I've got to be very careful about, right? I don't want to draw ire. It's not the purpose. Yes, Yonders, I've also seen First 48. Morning, cousins. So, yeah, as we get started today, a lot of thoughts running through my head regarding how to approach this situation. Um, I'll tell you what I don't like. Let's start there. I don't like it when people are like, it's not deportation. It doesn't meet the classic definition of deportation. Shut the fuck up. What? What? An innocent American citizen was kidnapped and sent to El Salvador. I want to make sure that we say the place that he was sent, CCOT, is closed. Do you know why it's closed? For human rights violations. So it's particularly troubling. It's particularly troubling when you have an innocent American citizen not afforded due process, taken into custody away from his family. This man has children. He is a father. I want to make sure I keep saying he's innocent and an American citizen. We are all Kilmar Garcia. Like that that's all of us. That's all of us. Innocent American citizens. Not particularly outspoken. Kidnapped. Deported. And now you have the president of El Salvador sitting in the White House telling the president of the United States, we're not bringing him home. So a lot of people, what I also don't like is the presumption that he's no longer here. He's dead. Um, I just feel like you don't have any fucking information that suggests that he's not here, other than loosely basing your feelings on a fucking TV show. You have absolutely no science. There's no math. There's nothing but your goddamn empty platitude suggesting that that man is no longer alive. You have absolutely no reason to believe that. You've been given none. It's just your stupid suspicion. So I just want to make sure I point that out that man is an innocent man. Okay. Yep. Hey, and you know what, buddy? Rob, what you're going to learn in life is that laws do not equal morality. Have a day. Your lack of empathy cost you membership in my audience. take a firm seat. So now, I also want to point out, okay, it's just facts. A judge and a lawyer are not law enforcement. There's an awful lot of people out here that are upset at judges and lawyers that have absolutely no fucking clue how this works. They are not the fucking bagmen. They're not the guys at the in the vests arresting people. Okay? Ain't nobody saying I'm sorry. Ain't nobody apologizing to his fucking children right now. You think about this. People voted for this. I hope if you voted for this, you have to look yourself in the mirror every day and say, I helped a man get elected who had a innocent US citizen kidnapped and deported without due process to a closed prison in El Salvador that had been closed because of human rights violations. I just want to make sure I don't have to look myself in the mirror and say I voted for that shit. I'm just throwing that out there. So we don't typically spend a lot of time digging on Trumpies, but when you lack empathy, I hope that your lack of empathy is returned by nature. Like just naturally you experience the lack of karma. Um, I can't do anything with my brain. Like I can think powerful thoughts, say things that sound fucking cool. But a lot and a lot of people are like, what can we fucking do? Cry? Like I told you from the fucking jump. If your brain defaults to violence, you're gonna be very fucking disappointed. Okay? Yep. And remember one of the pitfalls, Zeke, that you're falling into is believing the data and that it wasn't skewed. I want to remind everyone that before the 2024 US election, a social media firm did an audit of Donald Trump and Elon Musk's followings and found that they were 90% fake. They're not nearly as popular as you think they are. When you look at election results and data, you can't take those at face value. You have to know that the numbers were doctored. Hopefully, what Donald Trump is doing as a result of trying to implement Project 2025 is radicalizing everybody. I don't normally pray for mass radicalization of a populace, but if we do not radicalize very fucking quickly, we are going to completely lack empathy. Because it's against the law. Thanks for playing, Carol. Democrats aren't law enforcement. What do you mean fight? Executive Order 13848, the Justice Manual, Title 9. There's law. And see what was supposed to happen is the law and law enforcement were supposed to investigate. And again, I still think that's coming. I think again, here's what I've said all this time. Do you understand that we are talking about one innocent American citizen that we don't know if they're muerte or not? Okay? We're talking about one person. And remember, I told you this during this whole fucking run up. During this whole fucking run up, what did I tell you? If one person dies, it's a matter of international security. or national security. If one American citizen dies internationally, it's a matter of international security. I believe that the powers that be got a hold of Project 2025, planned against it, and they've said, because think about, again, and I'm not trying to, again, I'm not trying to disrespect somebody. I'm mourning their potential loss of life, right? So when I say we are all Kilmar Garcia, right? I've said all this time that if you plot and plan against Project 2025 from a legal perspective, 95% of that's going to get shut down in court. People talk about them defying court order. You mean the billionaire funded by Palantir, ICE, that has the funds and the very loose jurisdiction to make these arrests, and they are largely doing it on an unsuspecting group of people, people that aren't expecting to just get picked up off the street, right? Understand. Again, I've said you can tell that there is foreign influence in these policy because there's a clear, in my opinion, when you look at this, there's a clear language barrier. It's like cause and effect. Um, I think it's because I've been saying it this whole time. Obviously, Donald Trump's not like a very smart man, but like neither's Elon, and he's also not a first language English speaker. Neither is Vladimir Putin. And so the instructions coming down the pipe to Donald Trump, who again is not a smart man, it comes out and it's all fucked up, right? I just want to point this out. Donald Trump promised to deport, what was it, 14 million people? We're talking about one guy. And it's such a major ordeal. It's all over the fucking news. You can't dodge it. One guy. That it feels like the media, and do you understand? It feels like we're turning the corner on. We used to not give a fuck about. We used to give a fuck about people. We didn't give a fuck about one person like this in a long time. And I hate to say it, but it's like they're using him. They're using Kilmar Garcia. The media is. They're making this a big deal. Because I have to think impeachment is coming. There have been I've read multiple articles that are like Republicans are talking about it now. Like we got to impeach this guy. He's incapable. He's going to run the country into the ground. There are people, even elected officials, that are waking up to this, and you got to understand public pressure works. Then go do something. I hate when motherfuckers say that shit. What the fuck you gonna do? Go do it then. Go do it. I hate it. Protest, boycott, strike. Non-violent resistance. Next, or was it this Saturday? And so you got 4 days until the next protest. Try not to pick up any bricks. Throw any glass bottles. Don't make yourself into a target. Yeah. If you have to ask, you're not invited. Yeah, he's tanking the stocks as wealthiest supporters, right? Yeah, that's one of the problematic things here is that Donald Trump has no friends. Like, think about, I woke up this morning, CC sent me an article and is like, are you fucking kidding me? He's turning his back on Zuckerberg already? Like, did you understand that Donald Trump is about to reverse a decision on an FTC case involving Meta that would force Mark Zuckerberg to fucking sell Instagram? Like, Mark Zuckerberg flew to fucking Mar-a-Lago and gave Don money, and Don turned the fuck around and fucked on him. That's just the real talk. Like, Mark Zuckerberg flew to fucking Mar-a-Lago and dick. This motherfucker hadn't even been in office 6 months, and he turned on his ass. And I feel like this is one of those things. Donald Trump backed into a corner. Look at him blaming everyone else, right? Yeah, Laddie. I agree, 100%. That is exactly what Mark Zuckerberg and all these fucking billionaires deserve. Elon Musk losing his whole asshole, his entire empire falling apart, deserved. Fucking any of you that voted fucking Republican, I hope your whole life falls apart. I hope you're white. And you know what's hilarious? It's happening. It's happening. 2 days in a row at work. I don't normally talk about work. 2 days in a row at work, I talk to powerful women, women that make good fucking money, that are getting their shit together to get away from their piece of shit husband. Yeah, we've been talking the last few days, and my favorite thing, both of them said the same thing. What has happened the last few days and the lack of empathy my spouse showed me told me everything I need to know. I'm not a Democrat. I don't give a fuck how the Democrats are doing. That's not my thing. I'm a socialist. You're looking at the founder of the American Socialist Party. It's time we just start saying it. You love the policy of socialists. You're just a pussy, right? Oh, what is this? What is this? Okay. I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. I don't think that your money should go to. I don't think that your tax money should go to Elon Musk. Right? No, that's crazy. Carol, see, this is why I'm tempted to block you. Okay. The DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, which is a fundraising organization whose candidates typically run as Democrats, win 70+% of the elections they enroll in. So I would just ask you, dipshit ass, how is the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, a fundraising organization, winning 70% of the elections they enroll in, and their policies are popular and they pass in the states that they're elected in and they get enacted? We could just look at Tim Walz. I could keep going, but that's my problem. How the fuck can you sit in the United States and say socialism's a dirty word, people won't vote for that, when they do, and they win, and the people that run as DSA members win 70% of the time? They have a higher win percentage than Democrats. Poland. We can keep going. And let me guess, you don't know about the Blue Dog Coalition, right? You don't know that there are 54 elected Democrats that vote conservatively, right? No, the line was that socialist policies win and they get implemented and they're popular. Yeah, why is everybody going to see Bernie and AOC? You just think like there are just certain people that aren't fun to have a conversation with. Like, even if we're on the same team, it's like I don't want to be on your team. Exactly. We need a true third party. We need a workers' party. We need a pro union party. We need a pro equality party. Like, if you can have, here's what we have in the United States right now. We have the GOP, the Republican Party, that is anti DEI, anti LGBTQIA plus. Okay, and then you have the Democratic Party that are what I call halfway warriors, right? Where they'll fight for it, but ultimately they're gonna lay down. That's what that is. Okay, they say that they're gonna fight for your rights, but ultimately they're gonna lay down. And I just think you need someone left of the Democrats that's going to be like, no, 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 no. It's your job, Democrats, to support the LGBTQIA plus community who helps get you elected. It's your job to support the unions who should be voting socialist, because I'm a syndicalist, which means that I want the people that run unions to run for political office. Yeah, somebody said there's the first time I think somebody said it correctly. Okay? Here's what I think. There you go. Oh, I'm trying to show it. Traveling, I hate it. It's not okay. Yeah. So, and just for the record, I have a really crazy filter on my comments, so that's why you don't see a lot of bullshit, and I have to look at it instead. But just know, like, if you're in here and you're trying to be like a provocateur, your comments filtered. Sorry. Oh, see, we have a simpleton in the comments. People contain multitudes. Hmm. Did you know that you can have multiple personalities? Hey, I live in Indiana. We have the lowest voter participation in the country. It literally can't get any worse. And again, the reason that the political system's broken in the United States is because there is no party for the common man. There's no workers' party. There's no pro-union party. I mean, look at Joe Biden. You know, people want to talk about this administration, but look what Joe Biden did. He got elected off the backs of unions. Tell me I'm wrong. He got into office and immediately turned on the fucking railroad union, right? Because they were about to strike. And what did he do? He forced them back to work. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, you're supposed to be pro union. I thought you were pro union Joe Biden. Kamala didn't win because she won. Do you know what it is? Do you know why Kamala Harris didn't win? Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin cheated in this election. They there were hundreds of bomb threats. Um, there were and at majority black polling places, people that would never vote for Donald Trump in a million years were like evacuated from voting. And that disincentivized people to vote en masse. And you got to understand, Donald Trump really only won about by like 150,000 votes, right? And that's the truth across like several states. So he was spread really thin, right? No, it's actually facts. Like if you break down the data, he didn't really win by that much. And there's like 4.5 million votes that are being held up right now. So, you know, there are a lot of people out there that if you voted in this past election, you need to make sure that your vote counted. 4.5 million. Hmm? Yep. You can put whatever number you want in a comment. It doesn't change the facts. Now, yeah, how many times has Donald Trump even admitted they cheated? Right? Again, I feel like this is the second time I'm saying it. Some of you go into a room, right? Some of you go into a room with the intention of not having a nice conversation with a stranger. I don't know any of you. So when you come in my conversation that I'm having, that by the way, we've been doing this for like 6 months every day for 90 minutes. You're late. I don't even know who you are, right? But you're gonna come in here and we're having a conversation. You'd be like, "Oh, you want to bet on that statement?" Like, bitch, Google. Just go Google. Come back. Well, don't come back. You're gonna have to create another account. But yeah, if you're gonna come in and we're gonna have a conversation, like we should be looking to have like a good conversation. You want to not walk away from this conversation and be like, that guy was an asshole to me, right? Because you probably said some stupid shit in my comment section, and this is a learn live. Do you understand what that means? Like we're sharing news stories, right? Think about this. Look at Donald Trump right now, backed into a corner, right? Blaming everybody. Did China start the trade war? Oh, okay. Did oh, how do we get a violation warning? That doesn't make any sense. But we only got the single, so that doesn't affect me. Gosh, that's crazy. The more people that watch my show, how? Where? No, no, no. Let me show you something. I made it just for you. It's called The Door. Okay. Just go find the easily discoverable information. How else do you find stuff? Go to the library, look in the card catalog. What planet are y'all on? See, this is the problem. I figured it out. There's a reason I went back to coach high school football, to teach children how to act around other people. And it's evident. It's evident. Just read my goddamn comment section on TikTok, and you figure out like a lot of y'all like lack basic empathy and communication skills, and it sucks. It literally sucks. I'm just letting you know. There's a reason I want everybody to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. It's so that you motherfuckers can get some therapy. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I want your education to be free because I want you to go back and unfuck that too. I want you to not have to pay for housing because I know your dumbass can't handle the regularity of a job. So I know that you gonna fall off and crash the fuck out, right? But so I don't want you to have to pay for housing. Okay? And then you know what? I know you lack basic empathy and communication skills, and you have absolutely no social skills. So I even want the government to give you $500 every Friday just so you don't blow us all up. Real talk. And I know that that is a difficult concept. That despite our disagreement, I still don't want you to die broke. And there's a reason I sit here and I make a show every day. We talk about what's actually going on because some of you lack emotional intelligence. So you can't discern between what is right and what is wrong. You have to sit and look through the lens of legality. And I just wanted to let you all know that the lens of legality does not equal morality. Do you understand? What you see through the lens of legality is not necessarily like moral. And that if you think about what is going to help you fucking sleep at night, let me just break this down for you. What is going to help you fucking sleep at night? It's without a shadow of a doubt going to be I lived morally today and not I was within the law today. You understand? Because at Nuremberg, obeying order, not a defense at all. I was just doing what I was told. Doesn't cover for you. It's not my fault that President Trump is fucking deporting American citizens. That's not what I voted for. Yeah, the fuck you did. He said it the whole fucking time he was running. The largest deportation in history, 14 million fucking people. We all heard him fucking say it. You're in fucking denial. And now it's fucking happening and you can't look in the mirror, so you gotta attack me. You gotta come to me now. I ain't never got 1 ounce of shit. I got more shit today in my comment section than I have gotten in fucking a decade of sitting in front of a camera and talking to it. A decade! Now, the audience is fucking big. I can appreciate that. Everybody gets a little gassed up when they got people watching them. Just let me center myself. You need to live a healthy lifestyle. I advocate for that. You need to get 8 hours of sleep a night. You also probably need to take a fucking nap. You're probably just exhausted. I just worked 6 fucking days in a row on purpose so I could have some time off this weekend to go protest. We are all Kilmar Garcia. And if you're not feeling that, bye. Just go. Like, if it is too much for you to hold that your vote means that much, your vote means that much. Your vote is the difference between the illegal kidnapping and deportation of an innocent American citizen. That's what you want to talk about how powerful your vote is now? How powerful is voting now? How, there's been this talk since election day, and I've been in denial about it, where they said like a whole bunch of Democrats stayed the fuck home and didn't vote. How does that feel now? For all of you that decided to like sit this one the fuck out, how does that feel now? You got blood on your hands. I seen it on the map, by the way. I went and looked on Google. I looked up CCOT. You can fucking zoom in, and you're like, oh shit, that is like a large spot of blood that looks like a pile of bodies. Oh, innocent American citizen. Not even someone that was outspoken against this administration. And the thing about it is, I don't actually believe that. Like, when I said, like, a whole bunch of people didn't fucking vote, early voting record mail-in voting, record voter turnout. They literally ran out of ballots in Philadelphia. What? I think we've just been conditioned to just believe the first thing we hear and not ever to be like, our eyes did not fucking deceive us. I live in bumfuck Indiana that has the lowest voter turnout, and we waited 2 hours. 2 hours to early vote during the week. In bumfuck Indiana? And I'm a harsh judge of my climate. I'm looking around at the people I'm in line with. They weren't happily voting for Donald Trump, those people. It was like a bunch of teachers and lunch ladies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was midweek. Right? They're like a half day or something. Yeah, if you're looking at life through the lens of, well, that's legal, you're going to lose some sleep, I'm afraid. Because you're going to spend a lot of time looking through that lens of legality, and you're going to hit something that is immoral as fuck. And you're going to be like, that's legal? And it's going to keep you up at night. Yeah, it's going to keep you up at night. And one of the problems that I have is no, that's not true. That's misinformation. And you're only doing that because there's a lot of people in here, so you're an attention whore. Right? Because I noticed the misinformation isn't in my chat when there's not a lot of people here. So it's like y'all are so desperate for fucking attention, and when you get on someone else's page, you can't help but spread your dumb assness, right? Yeah, it is. I mean, I did just get done saying like I was just following orders is not a defense. I was just doing what I was told is not a defense. If you're if you're looking at life through the lens of legality, you're going to lose some fucking sleep because you're going to hit something immoral and it's going to strike you that I cannot fathom that this is legal, that it's okay to do this. There's a reason I sit here and I advocate for a healthy lifestyle and I champion get 8 hours of sleep a night. You should probably take a nap, hydrate, eat right, exercise, right? It's because all these people that are your detractors, that are your oppressors, these things aren't in their behavior. They're missing. It's the self-care shit. They do drugs. They're up at all hours of the night. They're reckless. They're dangerous. Right. Yep. You can't take care of other people unless you're taking care of yourself, right? Exactly right. I believe that it is, you got to understand I'm a data analytics student from Purdue University. So I understand that I'm wearing a Marine hat and that automatically deducts like 50 IQ points. But there's a reason. I'm also a Purdue data analytics student. And I was doing actually really fucking good. I just realized I didn't want to work in that field and that I'd probably if I'm going to found a political party, I should probably have a degree in political science. And so I dropped out while I was taking the capstone courses for data analytics at Purdue University. So one of the things that I can do that not a lot of people can do is I can look at a data set and without any other words, like I don't need a readout. I could just look at data and I could tell you whether that's doctored or not. And for example, the first problem that I saw that immediately made me realize like shit is fucked was on election night. At the very end of the night, they showed this map of the United States, and it showed that uniformly, by the way, reciprocally, the United States, the entire country went right since January 6th, 2021. And immediately I looked at that map and I was like, yeah, that's bullshit. What are the odds of a large landmass that typically votes very tight along party lines to all shift right by the same amount in a 4-year term? Um, the odds are nil, meaning like that's not just like statistically improbable, it's nigh impossible. Like you'll never see it again. You are about to see, in my opinion, it go the other way very hard. And there's a reason that I'm like, we need a socialist party that's pro union and pro equality and fights for universal healthcare, education, income, and housing. Because if we don't, we are going to get stuck in a single party system. As I've said before, this is the death knell of the Republican Party. Like you can think that what this is what power looks like, and this is what powerful leadership looks. It is not. This is what feckless, ineffective, um, what other fun words can we use for this administration? Um, Dangerous, inconsistent, ineffectual, abhorrent. That's just about where I am. Thank you. Union memberships have been on the decline for decades. There's a reason that I'm out here like I'm a syndicalist socialist, which means that I'm pro union. And I think when I take a step back, because I'm not a political candidate myself, I'm not founding the American Socialist Party so that I can run for office, because that's a terrible idea. You should never fucking do that shit. Do not build an organization to prop yourself up on it. That's not that's not the fucking point. And if you catch me, fucking call it out. The reason that I got into it is because clearly people are stupid. George Carlin was right. Half of all people are stupid. The other half are even goddamn stupider. Okay? And so what I've realized is like even the people that are gonna be writing fucking policy are dumb as fuck. And they need someone that's like, no, corporations aren't fucking people. And so like we need a political party that says like, we want to get rid of Citizens United. We want term limits. We want to ban insider trading and stock trading of elected officials, right? And you know who's not gonna fucking do that? Democrats. You know who's not even like on that fucking planet? Republicans. Okay. Somebody said, "What is your opinion on the border?" So I know how this conversation is gonna fucking go. Do you think people are going to be writing policy? Well, here's what I think. So part of my data analytics um, education was using AI, and we kind of laugh at it. It's like a bad calculator or like bad tables. I think AI is the new policy writer for the dying Republican Party. I don't think that Democrats are going to be using AI to write policy. Anyone worth their weight in chalk is not using AI to do anything. So, when I was studying at Purdue University, studying data analytics, we were wholly told, like, you could use whatever tools you want. You want to use AI? Use AI. And you know what I found? And I was taking I got a 98% in my finite math class, and I was using updated AI models to help me. And do you know what I found? I'm smarter than that. Like, they're not doing this correctly after we've done this for like weeks and weeks and weeks. That still isn't learning fast enough. It still has a problem with finite math. And I'm like, this is a shitty calculator. This is shit. I taught it everything it could possibly need to know about finite math. I literally uploaded the book, basically, because we had to do all this work, right? And could figure it out. And it was just like, hey, this is not, and this is a cross platform. This is a multiple AI get stuck, just like people get stuck. Except they get stuck at spots that we were in high school. I took high level math classes for college credit in high school over 20 fucking years ago. I knew those things that the AI that I had to train up to learn those things could not master. Kept wanting to do other things. Kept wanting to ask the question a different way. No, this is the question. And that's the problem with AI is that it's, first of all, it's man-made. And it's just an extension of a language learning model. Okay? And the problem is that I already told you what the problem is that people are fucking stupid. We are stupid. The problem is that humans we lied. Really what we did is we lied. We got to a point with the computer where like this thing can actually learn. Let's call it AI and market it and sell it to everybody. They'll buy it up like hotcakes. And that's the problem is that it's 2 letters. Linda McMahon, by the way, ma'am, it ain't A1. I could fucking tell you that ain't A1. Okay? It's more like, I guess if I have to use it, I'll use it. Does that make sense? Like there are way too many people that are like, oh, you have a question? Let me go to ChatGPT. I'm not one of those people. I'm like, oh, you mean there's no other conventional way to get to this answer? Maybe, fuck it. Try ChatGPT. What's worse? What's worse? All of the information on Earth ever, also called the internet, or this simple language learning module that it's basically a database with a script. Like y'all turned up like it's fancy Excel, right? It's a fancy sheets. Now, don't get me twisted. You know what AI is really fucking good at? Defeating other AI. So, for example, you want to apply for a job. You know what the best thing you could do is? Take your information and the job qualifications of that job and run that through an AI and have it spit out your resume. I'm telling you, I get fucking phone calls off my resume for jobs I didn't apply for. Why? Because and that was by one of my mods, by the way. That's what it's good for, is mundane task, right? It's just like iRobot. It's like y'all didn't watch iRobot. Y'all didn't see the part where the robot realized, like, I'm sweeping the floor and shit. Like this is yeah, yeah. I want a robot to change my brakes and change the oil in my car. I want a robot to like pull the trash cans up, get the mail type shit. I don't want to fucking do all that, right? I want it for mundane. I want it to clean my gutters. I want AI to walk my dogs when I don't feel like it, when it's too cold or some shit, right? But then you think about like how it oh, why can we never have a positive relationship with AI? Well, think about the tasks that we could actually have it do as it comes to you and I. Like you and I aren't getting it to fucking fly us to Mars. Like that's not fucking happening yet. So, just know the habits of your oppressors are what does them in, and it's and that you can be as loud about this as you want. I would argue that a certain level of volume is going to draw ire, as we tend to do. um like I said, I have not got one iota of shit in a decade on the fucking internet. I got more shit today in this fucking TikTok than I have gotten in a decade. And you got to understand, I was a sports journalist for Vox Media covering the Indianapolis Colts for like 6 years. Nobody fucking gave a shit. So the fact that there's like 100 people watching me on my day off talking about politics and news is it's wild. I appreciate you that you're here. I know I don't say it often enough, but without you, there's no me, right? I'm not gonna sit here and sing into the void. But yeah, I just want to make sure we point all this out. Like the scariest thing, like we don't talk about what actually scares us, right? I'm gonna talk about what actually scares me. Okay. There's a rumor in Texas, and I know, fucking Texas, that Elon Musk is building a robot army, and then he's designing a combat AI that he's gonna drop into his robot army, and that's part of the reason why there's a lot of like fear. Although I feel like Elon's been kind of quiet lately. Huh. Put a pin in that. Um, but yeah, I watched a video and it was like an engineer with a Tesla badge, and I think some of you might remember this video. And he was talking about how they're working us like 12-hour fucking shifts. You know what I mean? And it could be, it could have been that could have been like made. You know what I mean? Yeah, he bought a city in Texas. Is what I heard. Is what I heard. And then he's building a robot army, and he's gonna drop AI in it and just turn them loose on us. And then I also have heard, and so if that doesn't fucking scare you, and then also I heard, well, I didn't hear. Elon Musk has a network of low flying satellites, something like 265 of them, and it's like they're in low orbit, so you could just turn the power off on one and put it in your backyard and shit, if you wanted. You know what I mean? Like there's math. Uh, many of you have not seen Terminator, and that is fucking obvious. Just know, like, we don't have. I don't know, man. Depends what you teach the robot. Like, I don't think. I don't think they're there yet. Those are drones flying around. No, those are drones. See, what people don't understand. No, 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 no. So we're not going to fearmonger, right? The drones all had submitted flight plans to the FAA and had permission to be in the airspace they were in, because if they weren't, there's like a whole group that protects the airspace, right? Those were just drones. Probably military or civilian or recreational, or you got to understand about drones is like they're also a toy. And we forget that. We forget that drones are also toys. And people are willing to push the limits of everything. I don't know if you've ever noticed this. So originally, there was when I was a little kid, you could build like a model airplane, right? Tip of the spear, baby. And then as I got a little older, it was rockets. I got a little older and it became drones. Quadcopter, actually, I think was before the drone. And remember that, when drones first came out, it was fancy because it had a camera, right? And so I've been like, oh my God, I want to use a drone for football so that I can have the correct angle so I could show the kids what I need them to do and shit, right? I got to be able to teach people how to rap and kick and shit, right? Oh my God. Hey, what's funny is I just got a text from a recruiter from Riot Games. See, I told you. I get fucking text off a resume that's just floating around on the internet. Yes, he did. Got trolled pretty bad by gamers. Hey, I just want to point out I play Path of Exile, okay, the original, the actual good game. And this morning, I just want to point out that I beat two of the early bosses without dying after I beat Hillock. So understand, like, Elon Musk dies in the tutorial. I didn't even have my headphones on when I was fighting in the flooded depths this morning. Okay. So yeah, Elon Musk, uh, he can't just be the just like everybody else. And just start a character new in a video game at level 0 with no gear and just play the fuck through the game, man. What Elon Musk had to do was pay someone to play for him to have him a leveled up character. So that means that he didn't learn how to play that at all. And think about going into a situation where you're going to put yourself on the internet, stream yourself playing a video game, and you have spent no time playing that. So all that happened is you do not succeed. Who willfully puts themselves in that position? People that have no emotional intelligence at all. At all. One of the problems that I have is I'm like a lifelong gamer, right? Farther never made it in that game. I think my highest tune is 94. I keep getting stuck in the mid 80s, and it's has to do with gear. It's like I'm not fucking doing something. So and also I'm obsessed with starting over. So I like playing back through the early part of the game when things are very simple, right? Gaming equals rotbox, just like the television. That's wild. I like video games. They're a healthy form of escapism if you don't overdo it. I don't have a great attention span. I actually don't like to sit. So that's what's crazy about being a gamer and aging is like my I don't want to sit down and do nothing, and I kind of want to play as a shadow, or no, am I not? I already played as a shadow. A shadow, and my first character in Path of Exile was RF Chieftain, Pox's build. It was great. It made it a walkthrough, and then the new Legends of Frisia event, I played as Fubguns, um, Cobra Lash Shadow, Cobra Lash Viper Strike Shadow for leveling, and then switched to Lightning Strike. Um, and the problem is that's not the most powerful thing to do in the event. So I merged my character back over to Settlers League so that I could effectively get stuck in maps again instead of using the idols. Um, I got to the point where like it felt like I wasn't getting any farther within the idols, manipulating your maps, and now I feel like my maps don't have anything in them, so it's probably more fun to go back through and play as. I'm gonna play Fubs, Lightning Strike Slayer right now. So now I'm playing back through as the duelist. So now I'm on my third character in Path of Exile, and I'm actually playing through the game. And the difference is that I have a legendaries tab. So every time I pick up a legendary item, I just stow it. And then now when I play back through the game, I'm like excited when I level up because I can go back to town and look in my stash and I have like a legendary piece of gear I can put on now. And it's like, oh, that's dope as fuck. Because like that's the problem. That's the thing about Path of Exile is that it is skill and gear and your ability to play the game dependent. It's not one of those games where you could just have gear and get through this. You can't do that. You could just have all the moves, right? Can't do that. You'll get one shot the fuck out of. Oh, you cannot know how to play as your character. You are going to die. The thing about Path of Exile that I've learned is that you have to just be able to accept you're going to die. Just had triple shoulder surgery. Holy shit! So I had my shoulder replaced when I was on active duty. That's why they pay my part of the reason they pay my fucking mortgage. But yeah, I know that. So I'm going back to Dark Souls games of pain. Yeah, so think about Diablo, like Elon Musk played Diablo. Diablo 4 is like the easy version of Path of Exile. Like I play Diablo 4 when I want to like kick up my shoes and I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? When I sit down to play a game, I want something that's challenging. That how about I want a fight I got to back off of. I want a fight I got to evade, right? That's even remotely realistic in Diablo. It's very gear dependent. You get this piece of gear. Oh, now it's a one click up, up, up. And that was the same thing about Torchlight. Like I actually really like ARPGs, but I also play because it's all about camera angle. I just hope everybody understands that the difference between like an ARPG and a JRPG and an RPG and a first person shooter is about the camera. And I just want to point out that for the most part, you can change the camera in like every game. You could make almost every game a first person shooter. You can make almost every game a third person shooter. You can make it a third person omniscient, which is the ARPG angle. And I'm pretty sure JRPG is inside the head and outside the body. I think. And the camera can move. Um oh yeah, rotator surgery, yeah. I hurt playing football. I like landed like this and like you can see the bone of my humerus go this way. This way. Sucked real bad. Fortunately, I'm a lefty. So, I was just AI. But yeah. Donald Trump blames Zelensky, Biden, and Putin for war, blames China for the trade war, right? Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. And then just so we did share that, here's the president of El Salvador saying he's not bringing home Abrego Garcia. Okay. DJ 183 has been practicing a cheap transfer up $2,000 on one thing. I think we talked about this yesterday, but now it's in the New York Times. I feel like this is kind of important. Yeah, only left-handed people are in our right mind. Yeah, and it's not even that. It's worse than jacking him. Deb, he's gonna make Mark Zuckerberg sell Instagram. Have a good day, dude. Like he fucked on him immediately. Didn't even wait 6 months. And at every show we say the same thing. Get your ass on Reddit. So Jerry, can you hold on? Somebody said something about like, can we get out of this situation? What? Can we get Trump out? As I've said, the Republicans are already talking about impeaching him. Obviously, the International Criminal Court will eventually step in. NATO will step in. UN will step in. The U.S. military will step in. But again, right now we're talking about. Right now they're saying Donald Trump technically didn't deport this guy. He was kidnapped. Hey, I'm saying he was fucking deported. But they're saying that he was kidnapped, and so it's there's less gray area here. Apparently, with deportation, there's a lot of gray area. I'm not saying that's what I believe, but as far as like legally, it's kidnapping. He was kidnapped, and obviously there's evidence of like potentially being tortured too. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just saying, like, this is what I'm seeing is like from people they're like technically it's worse than deportation if you can believe that they're. Yeah, he was kidnapped because he's a U.S. citizen. It's not deportation. See, deportation is when you're not an American citizen. I know that it's fucked up. I didn't say that it wasn't fucked up. But that doesn't change what the truth is. And so, like, yeah. Yeah, the Google photo of the prison when you zoom in and you can see, like, there's a big blood spot on the ground. Yeah. Took him without due process. Yes. He was not afforded due process. It is a travesty. Okay. Technically, it's not deportation because he was an American citizen. You can't deport an American citizen. And yes, Donald Trump did allude to deporting his detractors. But again, I've told you the rich are invested in private prisons and they are fully willing to jail their political opponents and looking into deporting people that disagree with them. Mm-hmm. I didn't say it was good, right? I didn't say it was good. But like it's technically like a kidnapping. Yeah, homegrowns. And as you noticed, it did not impact me or this show at all. Okay, I'm not scared. Okay, if I was scared, I'd go to church or something. Good to go. I have accepted. I made a joke shortly after the election where I said you're gonna have to get used to my gallows humor as we are bound and chained and headed to the gulag together. I'm gonna be uh trying to make people laugh even at the end. Yeah, I could see uh if you don't look like me, you being scared is okay. Yeah, especially if you don't look like me. So again, I just want to point out that I was not trying to tone down what happened to Kilmar Garcia. I'm saying like what actually happened to Kilmar Garcia is actually worse. You understand? Like when you technically when you deport someone, you send them to their country of origin. Okay. You didn't necessarily send them to imprisonment in the country of origin, right? So I understand getting deported not always the worst outcome. Okay. It's sad to me because he has kids. Hmm. Yeah, it's not even a prison. The prison's closed. It's that's a think about this. A prison is where you go and you put people, and you would think that population would grow over time. But when you send people to a place and the number goes down, that's a death camp. That's not a concentration camp. That's not a church camp. It's not a summer camp. Not even a prison. It's not a prison because that shit got closed. Huh, this is wild. Oh, I think that here's what I think. Here's what I think about the situation. Just ask yourself, when's the last time the Supreme Court was 9-0 in favor of the same thing? I think that it's on the table, Crystal. Now that American citizens are not being afforded due process or being kidnapped in broad daylight by government entities and shipped to foreign countries. Yeah, like the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 against the President of the United States. When's the last time that happened? Probably never. I'm guessing the Supreme Court has never voted 9-0 against the President of the United States. I, I choose D, never. So, as I've said, uh, keep your head down, protest, boycott, and strike. They can't make you use Facebook, Threads, IG, Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter, Amazon. They can't make you use these things. They can't make you not shop locally. They can't keep you from growing a garden. They can't keep you from getting a generator, from getting solar, from moving on from a fossil fuel vehicle to an electric vehicle, right? They can't keep you from doing that. But what you can do is you can decide what you're going to do with your dollars. Okay? You can decide what you're going to do with your dollars. And I think the thing that I would be doing with my dollar is I would be very picky about where I'm spending my money. The only person that I would listen to talk about the military getting involved is somebody that was a lawyer that was served in the military. Well, one of the things that's important about what happened on January 6th is that Donald Trump committed an insurrection against himself. He was the president. So do you understand why the military like didn't they're doing what? They're they're doing this to themselves. I know that people don't understand that. What about since you've been stacking loyalists and higher ranks? There's a lot of things going on that we don't understand or know about. The military, uh, the general population of the military, not the necessarily the smartest bunch. And again, like as I've said, the things that lead to like long, happy lives, the live a healthy lifestyle that I try to get people to live is so that maybe you have a chance to outlive in these fucks, right? Knitting cult lady, yeah. So if she says the military's not going to intervene here, no matter what happens, fine. I just doubt that. I don't think she said that. It's dark times, man. A lot of people bent the knee, kiss the ring, and lick boot, and have no problem being a fucking boot licking ass. And people didn't read on authoritarianism. They don't read books. They don't care about education. All they care about is about violence and who can we commit violence on. That's that's it. Who can we hate and be violent toward? You know, my hope is from what I'm doing is first of all, it's easier to navigate a system where you have someone saying like, "Hey, this is important. This is important." So don't just believe me. Don't just believe me. Do your own research. Even though I'm showing you my sources, you've got to figure some shit out for yourself. If nothing else, figure yourself out. You know, as much as it is know thy enemy, know thyself. Right? Hmm. But know that whole institutions are rising up against Donald Trump. I believe it was Georgetown Law, and then Georgetown, and then Harvard and Harvard Law. Um, Again, who have produced people who have gone on to be Republicans, right? This administration is going to find out that there are institutions that have been around longer than the U.S. government. See, here's Harvard getting hit with a $2.2 billion freeze. One. But yeah, I would, as much as it's probably going to be difficult for you to do, I think the most impactful things that you can do are get off of Facebook, Threads, IG, Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter. Try to stop shopping on Amazon and start shopping locally. And if you can't, okay. And then if you take it a step beyond what I call the Great Tech Rebellion, right? That's what we're doing right now. This Great Tech Rebellion. You might want to get your parents and grandparents on Blue Sky because a lot of organizations are leaving Blue Sky that have larger audiences than the Social Security Administration. So understand that part of the reason that Elon Musk forced the Social Security Administration to post all of its news there is so that he could continue to, I believe the word is subjugate, old people into voting Republican. Like he wants to be able to have an audience to disinform, right? And young people have a radar for this, right? There are a lot of people that just like stop learning and they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground because they've just been working, right? That's what I hear a lot out of people. Keep in mind, I work a full-time job, still run this show, still do this show every day, right? So a lot of motherfuckers just have a lot of excuses why they got complacent, why they lack emotional intelligence, why their decision making is poor, right? So they're a Trump official declaring anyone who preaches hate for America will be deported. Stephen Miller. Morning. Great. I'm glad it went really well, Dina. That's awesome. Right. Remember, they want to return to a time of segregation, right? They want to return to a time of class war, or not class war, race war. And remember that this is not a left to right thing. This is a rich versus poor thing. Let that be like the resounding theme. Not a left versus right thing, but this is a rich versus poor thing. The rich people in the United States think the world's ending, so they're trying to get all the money they can and turn us all into slave labor, especially those that dissent. Yeah, I didn't ask you what you believe. This is my show. Yeah, okay. Okay, I found out where I want to live. I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. I am more likely to do business with a company that has DEI. I'm more, as a high school football coach, I'm more likely to want my kids to go to your college if you support DEI. Okay. I'm more likely to eat at your restaurant. I'm more likely to go to your bar. The Maldives, huh? Something to keep an eye on. I'm going to read this. We're almost done. Panamanian opposition of politicians have accused the U.S. of launching a camouflage invasion of the country amid simmering discontent over the government's handling of the diplomatic crisis. After a 3-day visit by the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump appeared to confirm that U.S. military personnel had been deployed to the Central American country on Thursday, telling reporters, "We moved a lot of troops to Panama." Higgs has said that the U.S. would increase its military presence at 3 former U.S. bases in the country to secure the Panama Canal from Chinese influence. The last U.S. military bases in Panama were vacated in 1999 as a condition of the 1977 Torrijos-Carter treaties to hand the canal to Panamanian ownership. Under the canal's neutrality treaty, no foreign power can maintain a military force, defense site, military installation within its national territory, and the U.S. comments have prompted outrage in Panama. This is a camouflaged invasion. An invasion without firing a shot, but with a cudgel and threats. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that today. We are all Kilmar Garcia. Yeah. Scary fucking times, man. Right. There's a reason I've said protest while you still can. The 19th, the 30th. Um, I'll let you know more as I find out more. Okay. And understand this isn't on a bunch of people, it's on a few people. There's actually not that many of them. Just know that they're never showing up to like a dangerous place. They're always going to be tucked away in a safe place. Actually, it's not, and that's fear mongering. See, if there was actually going to be martial law declared, it would actually take about a month to set that up. They would already have CPs set up. You'd already have rotations coming through. They're not going to put American troops in American cities and just be like, you're here forever, battle Los Angeles. That's not how that fucking works. There would be rotations. They'd be already getting all this shit set up. They haven't done any of it. In fact, apparently there's a lot of U.S. troops in fucking Panama, right, and at the U.S. border. Well, I'm sorry. How the fuck are you gonna put them in every U.S. state and have martial law? You're not. So he can declare it all he wants, but ain't shit gonna happen. Sorry. But get out and protest on the 19th. That's probably the last time you could probably expect a nonviolent protest if he does do something. I understand in Indianapolis it's a canned food drive. Okay. He said I know this show ends with Eat the Rich, but after the show I like to listen to Imagine by John Lennon. Mm-hmm. There's a reason the media is making it such a big deal. And again, it is a big deal. So I don't want to say that I don't think it's a big deal. Okay? The kidnapping, the the illegal deportation, imprisonment, potential probable death of Kilmar Garcia is fucking awful, is horrible, is a monster fucking deal. Okay? But but if you think about the single act, it actually shows you how powerless he really is. I'll just say it. Barack Obama deported like 3 million people, and nobody batted an eye. See? No. I mean, I've been to the last few protests, and they weren't. That's fear mongering, like 100% fear mongering. Yeah, but not to a prison camp. Yeah. I wouldn't even call that a prison camp. You see, prison increases in size as you add people to it. When you send people somewhere and the number of people there doesn't go up, that's called a death camp. It's different. It's not a concentration camp, not a prison camp, not a prison. Nope. So anyway, Now that I've completely set the mood. Right, it's being referred to as a mutual aid protest. I like that. Did he give due process? No. Wait, but he did it correctly and legally. Wait, Albie, who did what correctly and legally? Okay, I'm gonna go. Obama. Yes. Yes. I'm just pointing that out. That like Barack Obama deported like 3 million people, nobody batted an eye. This guy can't get one correct. Not even one. Like a single human being, he can't even do that. You want to talk about fucking inept? Incompetent. No, well, I mean, so obviously we're walking out the door here. I'm just saying when you deport someone, you are sending them to their home country, and that sounds like a legal thing to do. What this administration did to Kilmar Garcia is none of that. None of that. No due process. It was not deportation. Okay? That's an American citizen. And others. Yeah, and unnamed others. A number of others. Cruelty is the name of the game. The point, cruelty is the point. A lot of people ask, like, what's the point? The cruelty is the point. Trafficking, human trafficking, kidnapping. Yes, that's why I've said. What happened to Kilmar Garcia is actually worse than deportation. He was kidnapped, trafficked to a foreign country, and is probably not alive. That's why he's not been returned. There's a reason that the president had to come here and say, I'm not going to return him. Yeah, because he's dead. Correct. If you're going to send him there, you should have to bring him home. That's, yep. Or here's what I think. Maybe if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, there should be this thing called checks and balances that keeps that shit from happening. What do you think? Maybe we shouldn't privately fund ICE, Palantir, Peter Thiel, and use them as our Gestapo. Maybe we shouldn't fucking do that. Maybe there shouldn't be, we shouldn't live in a society. Wait. Y'all are going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't live in a society, like a capitalist society, where 66% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck, and all of a sudden this job comes along that pays you oodles more than you were ever making before. And you got to do some fuck shit, but they're going to pay you real good and they got good benefits. Now, you say, you sit on your little throne of lies and you say, I wouldn't do that shit. And I say, as someone who's been awake and aware and alive my whole motherfucking life, how many zeros does it take? Because I know for a good portion of you, if it fucking paid well enough, you'd be cruel too. It's just that shit don't pay well enough. Right? And yeah, that's one of the things that people do when fascism arrives, is they too become cruel. And I'm just telling you, empathy is important. Fucking treat other people how you want to be treated is important. And the most important overarching thing is stop being a goddamn snowflake, incapable of taking criticism. We are all due criticism. All of us do dumb shit all the fucking time. And somebody should call you out for that. And when they do, you say fucking thank you and move the fuck on with your life, because you're a goddamn adult now. And your whole fucking life you were taught what to do and what not to fucking do, and you become a fucking adult, right? Be a fucking adult. Like, an adult knows the difference between right and fucking wrong. It doesn't take a goddamn law book, right? Yeah. Take responsibility for your goddamn actions. If you voted for this shit, sit in it. That's what I think. I think you should have to sit and watch Donald Trump fuck up deportation. How do you fuck that up? Are they a citizen? Yes or no? Continue. Is that an American citizen? Maybe don't take him from his family. I don't know. Are they an American citizen? No. Don, deportation's on the table. See how that works? Seemed pretty simple for me, right? Also, if I was the fucking president of the United States, you know what I would not do? I would not fuck up deportation bad enough that you got someone like me saying, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. I'm pretty sure the president of the United States had an innocent American citizen fucking kidnapped and trafficked him to El Salvador to a prison that is not even fucking open because of human rights violations. That's like sending someone out for McDonald's, except the McDonald's is closed, and now there's a cult in the McDonald's. And also, never mind. Because then you have to make like McDonald's into a prison camp. But still, be so powerful. That just shows how powerless he is. And that's the problem. He's actually, you know what I'm going to end this show and go listen to? Weak and Powerless from A Perfect Circle. That's Donald Trump. Weak and fucking powerless. Like, has absolutely no power. This is not power. Power is not one guy that you, an innocent man you had kidnapped and fucking. It's not like he was a detractor. You're not silencing dissent. There's no like good outcome here. It's all bad for you, Don. Oh, by the way, the Supreme Court you bought voted against you. Even they have fucking scruples somewhere. Yeah. Just like every fucking bully I've ever met. You know, I don't have any enemies. You know that I don't count my enemies. Okay? I don't have detractors. Do you know what I have though? I have people that have said my name in the wrong room, and the people in that room defended me and then came to me and told me, yo, this piece of shit that we all know has been talking mad shit about you. What are you going to do about it? And do you know what I say? If you are too big of a pussy to say it to my motherfucking face or say my name, you actually ain't saying shit. I don't have to pay attention to that shit at all. If you're too bitch to say it to my face, get the fuck out of here. I ain't taking that shit serious. Let's go. We're to the end of the show. Okay, sorry. I got a little hot. Yeah, it's at the very end of the show. I just make sure we say it out loud. The people, my detractors, I don't know who they are. I just want to point that out. Like, I don't even know who the people that don't like me are. But say my name in the wrong room, and all those people that you said my name to came running to me. They're talking about you. Good. Say my name. Right? Yeah. People are like, you're stressed. Like, no, not stressed. I'm just pointing out, like, if I have detractors, I don't know who they are. Right? I don't know who those people are. But you say my name in the wrong room, and those people just come out of the woodwork, and they're like, Jared, that person was talking about you. And I'm like, why? What'd they say? Oh, they said they don't like you. Say my name, say my name. when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. He ain't